I am Angel Amoroso, and welcome to Angel Amoroso versus YouTube, and also welcome to episode 10 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. We're going to get right into it, and I warn you, I'm having some problems with my Wi-Fi and my computer, so I'm going to be streaming this from Facebook Live as usual. If there's any pauses, just bear with me with the stops and starts and whatever. So here we go. Let's get right into it. Let's widen the screen here so could have it full screen, because I've had so many complaints of keeping it small. Let's see if it's actually going to go full screen. I don't know. If not, you're going to have to just bear with the big screen, I guess. Let's start playing it first and then see if that makes a difference. Here we go with this killer weight. All right, let's try this. I'm not sure if people on the other side of the screen can see when that happens, when it's late. Like, I always wait for it.
And I am Angel Amoroso.
Here we go.
And welcome to episode 8 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. I just decided to do this one because why not? You know,
I'm going to try to go full screen.
I'm going to connect my share screen a little bit so that I can read some interesting comments that I found.
Here we go with the kill and wait thing. So we're going to wait. So wait with me. It'll probably come back on. I don't know why this happens. Okay, so here we go. We'll start over. Thanks for being patient.
Actually was alerted to in a group called We Love Pro Wrestling, of which I am still a member of for some reason. Even though I keep taking myself out of the group, they keep putting me in. So to go over what this show is about, this is
bear with me.
A show about how marks, people.
Good Lord. I'm probably going to have to start this over.
Facebook.
Because I don't like all these stops and starts. It's freaking ridiculous.
Have harassed me and my family on behalf of Mick Foley. This is not a show about me harassing Mick Foley. This is a show about people harassing me on behalf of Mick Foley. Just to get that straight, because I got to make that clear. People don't seem to be getting it right, and that's what it is. So far, Johnny Atkins has joined us. Welcome, Johnny, and thanks for the compliment. Robbie Soto has joined us. Thanks for joining, Robbie. Ricky Itozu has joined us. Thanks for joining, Ricky. And Mike Bucci has joined us. Thanks for joining, guys. And first, I'd like to take an opportunity to say happy holidays to all of you. And I hope you're having a very nice time of the year here. I'd like to get right into it by going to my Facebook as usual and getting to this post that I was alerted to. So let me click myself off the screen for a second and look. In the background, unfortunately, there's another live stream going as I'm going, so you might hear a little bit. So just don't pay attention to all that yelling. That's just my husband on his his podcast there. So we're going to search it like this, okay? Because all these videos come up here, and these are the new ones, the new episodes of Fuck You, Mick Foley that we made. There's episode 7 and 3. For some reason, they're all out of order. And we're going to click on this one here that is from We Love Pro Wrestling. Here it goes. And of course, we are not going to play the video. However, we are going to unfold all of the comments and make sure that our sound is up. Let's go to the newest and figure is the most relevant. And we'll be off reading these ridiculous comments for Christmas Eve. So the first in response to this was from Michael Aragao, whatever. Oh yeah, if she did have sex with him, why are you waiting till now? You should have told that a long time ago. You know how fans are. Do I give it up to any superstar out there, and then they say, oh, I got raped and this just happened for money? I can't even. Maybe you could read that on the side of the screen and dissect that. I don't know if it's the way I read it or the way it was written, but something wrong with this guy. Joe whatever says, it is true. Okay, so obviously Fortune knows me in some way, or knows Mick Foley, because he says it is true. And that was on November 21st, 2017. He had 2 replies to that. Let's unfold those. And this Josh Altbridge says proof. That's the classic response of all idiots, is that they want proof because they think that they deserve proof, you know, because they're the law. Evan Richardson says, I saw they was talking about my homie, boy Santa Claus. Larry Avery says, so in 1994, she was 15 and sexually assaulted by Mick Foley. Funny, Angel Amoroso in 1993 was running around topless in the Ring ECW Super Summer Sizzle. And then the genius puts the video clip up, and thank you so much for putting that video clip up, and a link to my Dirty Dead Doll Productions YouTube to show the NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling and Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular, where my top did get ripped off. And so I never said that I was 15 in 1994. That's ridiculous. And I'd like to know where you heard that. And yeah, it is funny that you misunderstood that. So yeah, I'm the same woman, but you just misunderstood. And the administrator of the group, We Love Pro Wrestling, responds to this with, busted. Like, ooh, we got her now. Now, this is an asshole who still keeps putting me in this fucking group. I don't know if it's because he wants me to read this asinine nonsense, but please allow me to go on, because this becomes just more fun as I go along. So here we go. We'll get to a few comments and then get back to me, because, you know, we want to see each other for Christmas during this show. Larry Avery says, I'm with Foley. I love how they also tried to start these hashtags for him, the accused person of, you know, yeah, he deserves the hashtag. Mark Reyes says, I remember that. Mark, I don't even know what he's referring to. You remember what? You remember what? Martin Lemus says, well, she could have also lied about her age. Or she'd been drugged out the last 25 years and doesn't remember how old she was when she was in ECW. Really? Do you really think that I wouldn't remember how old I am? Like, I have ID. I have to go get my license renewed and my passport every so often. Don't you think the government knows how old I am? And I've presented it on my timeline. If you want to fish deep enough, you could probably find it. I covered up my address and just left my name and birth date out. I also put my birth certificate and my ripped up passport there. So if you want to go search for that so that you can know how much of an asshole you are and I can prove you wrong, please take a look. Do I know how old I am? And I've been drugged out for the past 25 years. Is that so? Where you've learned this information, but no, that's not happening here. Mark Reyes is back to say, does she know how Mick Foley looked? What the fuck? LOL. Now, if that's something like derogatory upon his looks, you know, we've all looked certain ways at certain times, and you know, I was a young girl and I had odd taste in men, I guess you would say. So, you know, looks really don't matter here. Luke Falsey says, she'd suck anything if she would make her famous. Really? Because has any of this made me famous? Because if you want to make ridiculous comments like that, please, by all means, back it up with let me know how I've made myself famous by sucking dick. Let me know. Mike Demmer says, I hope this isn't true. I love Mick. If it turns out she is lying, they really need to start throwing the book at these false accusers. Let them know that messing with these people and their family is no joke. Now, I couldn't agree with this man more. Honestly, you know, if I was lying and I was someone who was a false accuser, then by all means, then I agree with you. Then these people should stop messing with people and their families, and people should throw the book at people like that. But I'm not one of these people, so you got to understand that. And as many hearts and likes as you're getting on your comment, you're just not understanding the situation. But I do agree with you on many things that. So let me just unfold these replies here so that I can continue to read. And we'll go back. And Jason Quintmet is here to say, yes, they make the legit ones look bad. Now, they keep saying this about me as if it's not, they know for sure it's not legit. Like, that's what they're making it out to be. And I don't know how I'm making anyone look bad by telling my story about what happened to me. Paul Rose says, exactly. Like, they're all together on this and they know everything. Selena Marie Henry says, I agree, this is bullshit. So maybe do you want to elaborate on that, you stupid bitch? You agree it's bullshit, and why's that? Luke Walsgrove says, I hope this nasty cunt gets sued into poverty. He hopes I get sued in a... Well, your hopes and dreams are never going to come true of that, because you can't get sued for something that... what am I going to get sued about? You're hoping that it's going to be slander? Well, it's not going to be, because I'm telling the truth. And if they say that I'm lying, I'll fucking sue them into poverty. You see how that works, dear? Okay. And moving along. See, and that's why none of them have said anything. And people have to read through the lines here and understand that there's so much to this that they don't know. And they will learn as I unfold it. If they will hang in there long enough to see it and then open their ears enough to fucking listen to what I'm saying. I don't have to keep repeating myself. Again, Gabby Currier says, sad thing is, she's probably already in poverty with nothing to lose. I'm not in poverty, dear. And, you know, compared to the trailer home that you live in, I think I'm pretty comfortable. So you go on ahead and think that. Luke Walsgrove is back to say, well, then I'm halfway to getting what I want. Like, that's what he wants personally. Like, honey, I didn't fuck your daddy. So why is it that you're so bitter against me on behalf of Mick Foley? Like, that's what you want me to be in poverty because the man that you like had sex with me when he was an adult and I was a child. So now you want me to suffer for it? Okay. Marissa on high says, whoa, watch the language, Lucas. Okay, well, good. At least someone has some morals in the conversation. Luke Walsgrove says, Marissa learned it from Nikki. I don't know. And she says, LOL. I don't know what any of that means. Maybe these are, I don't know these people, but yeah. Okay. So let's go back to Ashley Straka is in the conversation. It says, her sign says she was sexually assaulted when she was 15 years old, but she said that she was sexually assaulted from the time she was 12 years old by Foley and his friends. See, she was doing good up until that point. Okay, so you're contradicting yourself right there. Thanks for the lie, dumb, stupid idiot. So, as we could see, she started off okay because she read the sign, and it's, I did not say, I said Foley and his friends from the age of 12 to 15. I did say that. I did not separate each age to name each person. So, how am I myself? I can only write so much on a sign, and that's exactly what I did. I did what I understand that wasn't a contradiction as much as your fucking dumbass misunderstanding, then you're the dumb, stupid idiot, not me. So moving on, Peter Gilmore says, yeah, BS. Like, they're all thinking that they're coming to some kind of like Einsteinish discovery, and they're just all just making assholes out of themselves, which is more making me laugh now than anything. Catherine Castro says, people are going overboard or exaggerating with this Weinstein issue. Again, with this fucking Harvey Weinstein shit. Like, honestly, like I said before, I hadn't learned who he was until people started bringing it up in this. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. William Michael Brown says, okay, so I tried to give anyone accusing someone of sexual assault the benefit of the doubt, but it's hard when you're talking about Mick Foley. But he'll give anyone the benefit of the doubt, but if you're talking about Mick Foley, then he's going to doubt it. But anyone, but except for him. He's literally my favorite of the Attitude Era over Stone Cold and The Rock. So in other words, you give the benefit of the doubt over to anyone unless they're accusing your favorite, because he's your favorite more than The Rock and Stone Cold. So I guess just because he's your favorite, then that means I'm lying, right? Yeah. All right. Let's move down to some of these plastic comments full of you know, moral compass and what and substance and whatnot. It's all just so relevant, isn't it? Robert Bobby C. Samir, it's all these names. She's full of shit. You're full of shit with all those names and letters. Please, you can't even get a real profile. And then he says, all these assholes coming out the woodwork now. Really? Yeah, you haven't been listening. So shut the fuck up. Juan Camilo Rodriguez says, what the fuck? She was 15 years old. Wasn't she old enough to be conscious about sex to decide? First off, a lot of those words are spelled wrong, so I'm not going to try to translate what he's saying, but I'll try it. I will try. I was 15 years old. Wasn't I old enough to be conscious about sex? Yeah, but then so was a 25-year-old man who should have known that he shouldn't have touched a 15-year-old girl because year-olds can't consent. And whether or not they're conscious doesn't matter. So just look up the statutory rape laws and you'd learn a little bit about it and not sound like such an asshole when you're trying to insult people. Moving on, Diama El Arroyo says, instead of picketing outside with signs, wouldn't you call the authorities? All right, guy, who says that I didn't? Again, it's like I answered the same question over and over again. And and you probably hear a lot of screaming in the back because there's another podcast going on right now. But and I hope that's not interfering with what I'm doing right now. Logan Wright says, I believe the statute of limitations probably ran out. The timing of this is bad on her part. It doesn't seem likely that Foley did this, but who really knows? And that is all a very wise comment, everything that he said. The statute of limitations has run out. It ran out a long time ago. It ran out when I first started complaining. It doesn't actually last that long. There wasn't much to do about it then, and there's really not a whole lot to do about it now because of the statute of limitations. So I'll keep that in mind, that is what is holding up a lot of the situation. And a lot of that's being taken care of and controlled right now. Thanks to the Catholic Church and their horrible and awful situations going on there. I think that we're making strides in maybe abolishing the statute of limitations so that some people could get some kind of closure and justice in their lives. So, you know, the timing is really bad on my part, and I agree it's bad on my part because people think that the only reason why I'm talking about this is because of this hashtag Me Too and this Harvey Weinstein and people that I've never really even heard of. So for that, yeah, the timing is bad. It's not, like I said, it's not like it's the first time that I've ever said anything about it. So it's not that my timing is bad. You know, it's bad because you guys just, for some reason, started listening to it, and the people who heard it before tried to squash it so much that you know, it's really it's hard to get out there. And now that it is, I have to deal with this kind of bullshit, which you know, kind of makes it so that people just want to stop talking about it, sweep it up under the rug again, and hoping that if they ignore me, I'll go away. And that is not going to happen, I assure you. And like you said, it doesn't seem like Foley would do this, but who really knows? Perhaps to him it doesn't seem like, perhaps to a lot of people it seems like it wouldn't, because he's done so much for different communities of, you know, on slut projects and rape and incest organizations, that he doesn't seem like the type. But really, what is the type? You know, Livette Roseo goes on to put a GIF up of someone that I don't know that asks, "Who the fuck are you?" And these people have a thing, like, I don't know what it is. Should it, who the fuck am I? Like, well, I am the person that you're commenting about. So, you know, I'm the person you're commenting about. So if you want to know who I am, go Google it. Use that fucking search engine to Google who I am, and then you'll see before you start making comments about, oh, I don't know who you are and I've never heard of you. Okay, well then you have a Google search engine like everyone else. Go fucking learn instead of trying to, like, you know, be cute with irritating comments that if you don't know, you're more of a mark than we all know that you are. And then this Meest Paler crying, I can't even fucking pronounce its name, shoots a bang bang gift of Mick Foley as if I need that. And then another gif of Keyshawn has another gif of Mick Foley doing some kind of move to someone. Let's see those. Bang bang. And then for some reason, he showed Mick Foley getting the rock bottom. I'm really not sure how that is relevant here, but you know, thanks for the gifts, I guess. I'm sure it amused everyone out there. And then he follows it up with saying, "Have a nice day." So I'm not really sure what that interaction meant. Jamal M. Scott says, Carl Green, whoa, or woo. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Alessandro Fossen tagged Tom Main Event Stoner. I'd love to see what these winners look like. Tom Main Event Stoner says, rolling on the floor, attend Miko. I'm not even going to see the translation, or maybe we'll see the translations. You know, let's see the translations, because it's always fun. Why not? Translation. We wait, Vince. Maybe that's supposed to mean we want Vince. I don't know. And this one says, its stuff with Cartel is of an unprecedented sadness. This one won't even turbo Foley's dad. I have no idea what that means. If you guys could read that, like, I have no idea what that means. And it's Mark Edward just put I don't know what that is. It's just some dude giving a face. And then some people say, what the fuck? And then let's see. Paul Rose says, and I am Mick Foley's son. Bitch, please. So this is so unbelievable to people that they would say stuff like, oh, yeah, and I'm Mick Foley's son. Like, do you really think that the man never had sex in his life? You're all insane. Johnny Ray Sanchez gives a nice forward gift saying bullshit, bullshit chant. There's be more original. Chuck Swegerson, whatever. I'm not even going to try to say it right, honestly, because they don't deserve it. Says, bullshit, but now watch, everyone will automatically crucify him just because she made the accusation. When it comes to these type of accusations, they are guilty until proven otherwise. Really? Well, it seems like to all of you, he's innocent. He's innocent no matter what. He didn't get crucified, dear. I'm actually the one that did. And that's why you're witnessing all these episodes of Fuck You, Mick Foley. They didn't crucify him. They crucified me. So we are to the reply of that. And this is kind of a long one. It says, from Road Dancy says, for who though? Keep it 100. If it was Roman or Cena cats, would make memes and folk would laugh about it. But now that it's Mick, which I side with in mind, people would get real upset if someone were to do that to him. I find it all to be crazy, and I hope these are false charges for Mick and his family's sake. Well, you know what? At least the way that comment was written out, it's kind of like, if she sides with Mick Foley, that's fine. But, it is crazy that, it's just crazy. And then Road Dancy follows it up with, can't say it's true, but Foley did get down with some rats during his time. Don't let that now good guy fool you, yell. Yes. So some people are aware of his activity with all the rats, and I don't understand how he can tell you his whole life through every gimmick he's had, Cactus Jack Manson and Mankind and Dude Love and I won't say Santa Claus because that's just creepy, but through all the other gimmicks that he's had, you tell me whether or not you can read into this man's life. And if you can't, then you're just not as deep as you think you are. Michael DeLeon says, hello, shit ain't true. Well, I guess not now that you said it's not, because, you're the authority on everyone, right? Mitchell J. Hunter said, that's how I feel, bruh. Bruh. Yeah, that's how. Yeah. Michael DeLeon said, yeah, man, this is just some stupid bullshit. And Mitchell Hunter says, better be, LOL. So they go from saying it's not true to, yeah, oh, we feel the same way, blah, blah, blah. This is bullshit. And then they say, well, it better be. Well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's not bullshit. So, yeah, bruh, it's not bullshit at all. So, yeah, I hope you both are sucking each other's fucking dicks right now. Zach Fender just put for some reason, a Chris Jericho meme up. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Tom Dion put a meme up of bullshit in a rainbow from SpongeBob, which I'm really not sure how original these people think they are with their memes. Michael Adrian Doonan says, we've all seen Foley's wife. And if you're reading this, you've seen his accuser. Why would he fuck a crazy crack hoe when he has a beauty queen at home? I don't buy this for 1 second. First off, darling, you didn't know me back in the 80s and 90s, and neither did any of these people. And agreeably, Mick Foley's wife was, she was a model. If you probably don't even know that, being the mark that you are. I did, because I had many conversations with him about it. Mick Foley was not with his wife during the time. For a very short period of time, he was not with his wife, and that is how we ended up getting together, because he was not with his wife at the time. He did not have a family at the time. So, and as far as me being a crack hoe, yeah, I don't smoke crack. Maybe if you reread that comment, you would know how much you sound like a crack smoker with the things you just said. So, and then the administrator of We Love Pro Wrestling puts a let's see what this GIF is here. Oh, what's up? Wow. You know what? Whoever the administrator of We Love Pro Wrestling is, please get in touch with him. And if you know me and you know the story, please let him know what a fucking, just like an ass, a thumbs up. And then John Herron gives a bang bang. It's like I'm just amazed by it. And this dude keeps entering me back in this group forcefully. I keep taking myself out, and he keeps putting me in. It's just amazing. And these are the same people that won't let me post my auctions for action figures or anything like that because they say it contains sexual content, and oh, we can't post my interview with Shelly Martinez where I told the whole story. They're allowed to have their opinions and tell lies about shit, but then I'm not allowed to put. They don't want to hear my side of the story because the lies they're making up and their version of it is more interesting. They would rather pacify themselves with their own bullshit rather to just fucking hear the truth and all the answers to the stupid questions that they're asking. So I'll just go on. Joe Threadgill says, someone tagged my boy Foley. And man, I really wish they would have, but I haven't gotten through this, so maybe they did. Adam Batista says, everyone want to ride that sexual assault train. They will be crying when they get convicted of falsifying rape. Yeah, you know what? You're right. All the ones that claim that they got raped and falsified it, they are going to get in some trouble. And you know who came out and told everyone that Mick Foley had sex with an underage girl, which is considered statutory rape? Me. And I'm sitting right here. And if that were a lie, I wouldn't be sitting right here. Yeah, think about that. Let's go on with the comments. Vinny Ryrat, your name should say it all, Rat, says, don't believe this at all. And you know what? We don't give a shit what you believe in, Rat. Moving on, Ruben Gonzalez says, ain't nobody gonna believe that fuck shit. That seriously, that's what it says. Ain't nobody gonna believe that fuck shit. All right. And no one will believe it because all of you collectively decide that that's just not what you're going to do. No matter what you hear and how many of your questions are answered, you're just not going to believe shit just because you don't want it to be true. It's too uncomfortable for you. God forbid you should believe the truth. And here's Jason Henson, I don't believe you meme that gets some likes. Okay, and then we get to this. Ricky Hall says, when was this? Live in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania? True, she's catching a suit. All right. The only thing I fucking caught was a cold, buddy. Sean Swinger says, who the fuck are you and why you out of all the ring rat bitch? Get real. Hold on, let me read it again because it's just these people, I don't know where they were not educated. Who the fuck are you and why you out of all the ring rats, bitch? Get real. I guess you got to read it with a certain kind of inflection to your voice for it to sound right. But who am I? Who the fuck are you? Yeah, get real. And what I'm doing is getting real, and you can't fucking handle it. So go play in traffic, asshole. Kevin Danner says bullshit. Yeah, it's your mother's not here telling her fucking life story. It's me, so it's not bullshit. Jake Renard says, I bet he never touched her. Okay. Danny Pattern says, who are you? That's like, what kind of fucking question is that? And then the thing is, when I try to respond in these groups to these people, as to who I am and to try to clear these things up, they deleted my comments. I don't understand. Like, and bad me in the group, like, who are you? Who the fuck are you? Who are you to question this and act like you know me? And then when I try to tell you who the fuck I am to clear it up, then you don't want to hear it. Oh boy. Okay. Matt Van Winkle says slow time for bookings. Dude, who the fuck is looking for bookings aside from you marks on this shit? Comment and thinking that you're wrestlers when you're nothing but a bunch of yard tards. Yeah, see. More comments. All right. We will see more comments. Let's see. A lot more. Okay. And Dominic Catone says, bullshit alert with a bunch of exclamation points. Ooh. Justin Alvey, whatever, says, this lady is just on some real fuck shit. Point blank. That's seriously what it says. I can't make this shit up. That's the way they type it. This lady is on some real fuck shit. I don't know what that means. Must be like the new language for Ebonics or whatever. I don't even know. Lisa Gonzalez says, what is it when someone comes out and says something and everybody comes out and says they should have said that shit a long time ago instead of just coming out when everybody else is coming out? That's what makes it sound false. It's going to make people not believe you. What the fuck? What? When someone's coming out and saying something and everybody comes out and says they should have said it a long time ago instead of just coming out when everybody else is coming out, that's what makes it sound false? No, that's not at all. I can't even dissect that. I'm just going to move on. Daniel Wood says, who would sleep with that? What the hell is that? First off, I recall this same person calling me a ring rat and all this other stuff in like private messages. Who would sleep with that is the 20 plus people that you want to suck ass up, that you admire so much because you're such a fucking mark, is who would sleep with that motherfucker. Fucking the top of the card champions and whatnot that had to have sex with a teenager. That's who would have sex with that asshole. Moving on. It's Jimmy Bell, which yeah, I'm sure all these accounts are real. Says, oh, look at It's a Fad. Okay, so has it been a fad since I was 15 years old talking about this, really? Dan in Street says, look at the people around us every day that we admire, but stop and think for a moment. Do you really know them? Do you really know their thoughts, their daily routine, or their heart? No. Which is why the only people that know what went on or didn't is Mick or Amanda. Now, I'm not sure who Amanda is, but you're on the right track. We never truly know the strangers around us. Keep your circle small. Except for him getting my name wrong, that was a very wise comment. Very wise. And we're going to get to the 2 replies that follow that I'm sure are negative. Because anything, of course, that is positive or sounds like it might be on my side, these people are going to, go against anyone who might listen to a story and have, a common sense to hear it and know that it's true, or it might be true if they don't know for sure. Philip Patak says, I agree with you, but even in small circles, there are secrets. Okay. Dana Strange says, my point exactly, Philip. Do we ever really know someone? And that's a good question to ask for all you people who are saying, I know Mick Foley and blah, blah, blah. Just because you sat down and took a picture with him at an autograph signing and he was nice to you because you were paying for like that Polaroid or that selfie, or you were paying for his donuts or paying for whatever he was, you know, taking money from you for, it just because he smiled at you and let you hold his title belt does not mean that that's where his life begins and ends. All right. So let's not all judge that book by its cover. Parker Wisnicki, whatever, says, God, I hope these are false. All right. You know what? I'm going to give him a break on how he spelled there, just because I think it's sensible that some people are not jumping to the conclusion of this person is a liar, and instead, you know, just hoping that it's not true. And then we have another Spanish-speaking person that says, in translation, you need to see this, and tags another person. And then Sophie Smith tags another person. And then we have this other person that was tagged that says, what do you mean, haha? Another Lewis Taylor claims bullshit. Good for him. Alex Walker says no one is safe. John Allen says publicity stunt. Really? A publicity stunt? For who? I love the people who say this was orchestrated by Mick Foley. What the fuck do you think that he would have to gain out of this? And what the fuck do you think that I would have to gain out of this? Just curious if any of you want to come back and have any of your wise responses to any of this nonsense. Randy Connor says, get the fuck out of here. Now, you know what, motherfucker? You get the fuck out of here. How about that, asshole? Daryl Smith says, with a meme, you can't blame a hoe for doing what hoes do. Well, you also can't blame an asshole for being full of shit. Now, can you? Thomas Etheridge says, I call it bullshit. And again, because you are full of bullshit yourself, probably. And here's Nick Barbiera with some meme of a guy with a fucking tinfoil hat around his head collapsing. I don't know. We didn't ask to see what he does, you know, in his spare time, but I guess he figured he would show us. Next good comment is from James Campbell. It says, this is from the ECW days. I don't know what he's referring to, but as I said before, I never fucking said anything about ECW, so go suck a dick. Ryan Griffith says, independent manager, yep, seeking attention. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not, yeah, I don't, I haven't been in wrestling for a long time, so no. Omega Camacho says, of all people, Mick would never, if she was going to lie about someone, don't make it someone literally no one would believe. Listen, if I was making it up, don't you think I better? Seriously. This was, like I said, very embarrassing for me for a long time. And, you know, it's still nothing that I'm really proud of. So, yeah. Haley Trek says, I'm usually one to believe the victim, but what, bitch? But what? But what? You don't like me, and you don't like my personality or my tone of voice or my volume or my inflection or how I speak and my presentation. So, but you don't believe me because you don't like me. Kind of says more about you than it does about me, doesn't it? On with these fucking crackhead comments. Nelson Cruz says, this chick wants nothing more than attention from him because this is bullshit right now, yo. That's why I hate people making false claims about people. I stand with Foley. Not worth her. She's just making shit up. Do you think you fucking know me? Do you even think that you know him? Because if you did, or you knew me or any of the people that I hung around with in the 80s and 90s, and people don't understand what the wrestling crowd was in Philadelphia and what a wild bunch it was and what a traveling crowd it was from city to city. And Philadelphia was some of the wildest fans, some of the wildest groups, traveling groups for wrestling ever. So, you know, making false allegations, I don't have to do that. I lived a life of truth, so I don't have to make things up for attention. I want nothing more than attention. Okay, well, if you want to stand with him, you go right ahead, but know that that smell you're standing is the shit that you stepped in while you're standing on the wrong side. Moving on, Floyd Sheldon says, why wait this long for bullshit? No one did wait this long. You just waited this long to start listening, asshole. Chris Down says, why is all this shit about these celebs sleeping with all these girls when that man Corey said he'd been sexually abused and they did fuck all, but it's okay? Now, if he's referring to, what, Corey Feldman, I guess, I'm going to have to agree with this comment here because that shit's brutal. And that boy is tormented. And I don't see that ending very well. And people have to question why he's still in Hollywood and being able to work and still make these allegations and, you know, say he's lying, but why? Why would you say he's lying? T1 Solo says, okay, with a question mark. Gilbert Gonzalez says, wow. And then people just got tagged here. And under all this, this video is about 109 comments that I am not going to get to because I want to get back to my comment section here. I don't want to read like 109 comments because I don't know if I want an hour or not, but let's see if anyone else has actually joined. Well, that was about all. Was it about all for this evening? Oh, okay. Johnny Atkins joined us. Robbie Soto joined us. Jeannie Polanski joined us. Oh, welcome, Jeannie. Happy holidays. Vincent Peter DiGiacomo joined us. Justin Doan joined us. Mark O'Slipler joined us and said, what is this all about? What did I miss? Well, dear, it's only been 49 minutes, so if you want, just wait till it's over and just replay. Richard French joined us. Thanks for joining, Richard. Said, did he ever reach out or respond to the book signing at the protest? And if you watch the whole protest, then you'll see the end of how he took approach in sending someone else out to respond to it. But we'll get to that at some other time because I am going to play that out, Richard. And thanks for your question. Yvonne Lingolis has joined us. Thanks for joining. Evan Romano joined us. Thanks for joining, Evan. Patrick Walsh joined us. I thought you were on a live stream. Yeah, I heard you screaming in the back. Thanks for joining, dear. Adam Piltzko joined. He said, what the hell is she flapping her gums about? Well, if you want to hear, then you could just watch it like everyone else jerk off. And this is like one assholes who will say, I never heard this story, but it's because jerk-offs like this won't watch it. Instead, they'll say, oh, what is she flapping her gums out, and what is she talking about now, and I don't want to hear it. And this is why you've never heard the story. So Joe Zanoli joined us. Thanks for joining, Joe. Johnny Moran joined us. Thanks for joining, Johnny. And Crystal Thompson and Cecil Thompson has joined us. Thank you so much for joining. We have gone on like I guess maybe about an hour now, and like I said, I don't want these episodes to be too long, and it is Christmas Eve, so actually it's 12/13, so it's Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy Holidays to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode 8 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. So happy that I brought in Christmas time with all of you, and I'm not going to say I hope you've enjoyed this episode, but you hung in there, and thanks for joining me for this Christmas episode of Fuck You, Mick Foley. And we will hopefully see you next time. And until then, I hope you all have a holiday. Have a great Christmas and a great night and a great life. Thank you so much for joining.
All right, and thank you for joining me on Angel Amoroso Versus for this episode of Fuck You, Mick Foley. Hopefully you'll join me next time for the next episode. I'm trying to cancel this out here so that I can actually get out of here. So bear with me. I'm still having computer problems. Don't know what's showing this white screen. Okay. So here we go back on this. As you'll continue to hopefully tune in with me here, you know, you'll get used to the computer problems that I have. Hopefully it won't last forever. And we won't have these technical difficulties. Anyway, so okay, let's just X out Facebook so that we can close here. Yay! Okay, so thank you for joining us on Angel Amoroso Verse for episode 10 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. Please join us next time. Until then, have a great night and a great life.